I have a question for you, but I can't remember what it was.
Just say yes, yes, or say no, it's easy.
Lori may already be found on.
Are we on? Okay. Okay, we're on. All right. Good evening, all. Welcome to the town board meeting. Agenda meeting for June 17, 2025. Please rise to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Morton. Councilwoman McMahon. Here. Councilman Niles.
Here.
Supervisor Molino.
Here. Hey, Laura, you want to start with the bills and stuff?
Proposed resolution to pay the bills of the 11th abstract of 2025 as presented. General fund vouchers 5098 to 5133, 22,353.69. Highway fund vouchers 5134 to 5143, $4,017.36. SW1 water district vouchers 5144 to 5149, $5,260.68. SW2 water district vouchers 5150 to 5151, $40,649.85. Ambulance district fund voucher 5152 for $210,464.71.
I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Proposed resolution to accept the audit from the Rockwell Falls Ambulance Service and release funds in the amount of $210,464.17.
Just so you all know, that's an auditor that does that, and once they send it to us, we can pay him the share that we have to pay him for the emergency score. So I need a resolution on that. Motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
A proposed resolution to enter into an intermunicipal agreement with the town of Hadley for the summer youth program, including funding in the amount of $8,000.
I make the motion.
Second. We have just a teensy bit of discussion on that.
Yes.
Is there like a scope in that?
Yes, that was given to you by email, I think.
Is that the resolution?
That's the resolution.
It's the agreement. I don't agree.
Match 50-50 with Hadley on that.
I don't know, Dane, it was dormant for a couple of years because of COVID. I think last year was the first year back. And what we did on that one was so much a kid. I don't know how that compared to. Does that ring a bell?
I don't remember it ever being per kid,
No.
but you, I mean, you might be right, but I don't recall.
I don't know if the proposal was per kid or if they.
What's the
No.
question?
There used to be a charge per kid.
There is a
for
charge per
Hadley.
kid, and our kids, and this is a total of our share, the $8,000.
Right, so there's not a charge for Lake Luzerne.
The only thing they
Yes,
charge for, and it's all the children, is if it's a field trip,
Right.
correct?
No, I didn't explain that very well. Well, when the program was restarted, maybe it was 2 years ago, the basis of the number we gave them was so much per child.
Yeah, this is one lump sum now.
Yeah, I know. How's that compared to last year's? Anybody know?
The amount, I think it's the same amount.
I think, honestly, I think it's the same amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close. If it's not,
Yeah, I don't think the amount changed.
okay.
They just figure it all up because they take care of the whole thing and then divide it in half and we pay our half. That's basically.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'm fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next resolution is setting the public hearing, to hear comments on local law 2 of 2025 regarding, regulating parking in the town of Lake Luzerne and setting the fines for, not following that.
So before you schedule the public hearing, let's take care of that local law. The correct copy has to be on file.
Okay.
There could be one public hearing for both those issues.
It's just.
Yeah,
one
so I took your ordinance
Yeah,
and I turned it into a local law.
Yeah.
So essentially, you're passing this whole thing
that's what we got today. Well, yes.
yesterday.
Okay.
So this whole thing is a
Yeah, we
new.
were wondering how you got it out of our book.
But I wrote it based on what's in your ordinance book, but we strongly suggest you start turning your ordinances into local laws so that it's on file with the Department of State. Because your ordinance book is not always up to date and it isn't on file anymore. So let's took that, but then. For 3, I added the entire length of School Street just because it wasn't clear in here. But I'm assuming that was the intention, because there was no distance markers on it. Then on number 6, the premises within the Pier Point Beach and Wayside Beach areas, it said, I'm assuming that's a parking area.
Parking lot.
I'm gonna put parking in there. And then the board had discussed no parking at 1140 Call Street. And you had the county put up signs, but you never actually added that to your ordinance, so I added it to this local law.
Oh, that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that was challenged, right?
That's a county road. but then-
Yeah, that's a county road. What is the county road?
I don't think it
You don't think so?
necessarily, because you can regulate parking in your town.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. People wanted no parking. 100 yards from their property because it's coming uphill. People go around the bend. Their driveway is out, so they wanted that down a little further.
Okay.
And we put that a couple of years ago. This is no parking, so the Hunters used to park there right there.
Right.
But it made it hard for them to get out of their driveway.
So do you still want to keep that in there and we should put a distance?
I don't know how far we put it, maybe about 1,000 feet. No, maybe not.
I have no idea.
No, it's down from their driveway, so the road goes, that makes a hard curve.
Those signs go pretty far
Actually,
down.
Ron, you put that there. Do you remember how far you put that one? That's that one house that's right on that bend.
There's no parking signs on Hartman Hill by Carlton's. They come way down the hill. It's on the county road, but there's no parking signs there.
On the county road, I'm not sure.
You know, we've got Google Maps.
But will you get the distance?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can get it, but. Yeah, well,
While he's looking at that, and then we raised the fine, it says not less than 250. If you ever want to increase it, you don't have to come back and, yeah. And then that's
I like that.
what's the address on
1140 Call Street.
it?
So this was the first one you sent me. This was the second one. It's the whole thing.
They're the same, I just sent that one to you.
It's this one's.
Yeah.
It's the same documents and everything.
Same documents are attached, I just put some.
So I'm just going to show them.
You also tell me what side of the road that is.
Yeah, so this is.
All right.
This is on Warren Road.
Oh, I'm going north, I think. Yeah, going
Yeah, that's going,
on the right side.
you know, how far down it is?
I think you have, I'm not
Then
sure,
the
but
top
you have to
part,
keep
you know.
going.
Okay.
It's below a bend,
Well,
yeah, because it's
Trying to see where I can tell where you're at. I drive that road every day. There it is.
The house on the right is, yeah.
Farther,
That way?
up the road,
Where's the White House?
Okay.
up the road. I believe.
Mm,
That's
no.
not the way.
this one.
No, it's.
You can't really see the house from the road. It's up high,
That's not. this.
but. the
No, we gotta
driveway
come
comes
back.
right
It's the
down.
first house on after the bend.
No, it's,
Isn't it?
You go the other.
No, no,
Yeah.
Go back,
it's east.
go back a little bit, I think.
That's the driveway right there.
So where that car is, it's right around that bend, I'm pretty sure.
It's right on the
So
bend.
parking by like
No,
the. Townsend?
you're going too far down. It should be right up between that and that driveway, I think,
Right in here.
on that side.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, well, if we know it's roughly around right here.
yeah, it is right roughly
Okay,
there.
so I can do a distance from that. Here, let me.
Wait, can you just explain to me the difference between the ordinance and the local law and why it's important to go into the local law?
So in terms of enforcement, and the way that you pass them, there isn't much legal distinction. The difference is that a local law has to be sent to the Secretary of State. And that's when it becomes effective. And then the Secretary of State keeps all of those local laws in a database, so you can just go online and search them. And then if you do any amendments to these, the Secretary of State again puts them on their website. So you get the most recent copy if you go to their website. Your ordinance book is only printed a certain number of years. So if there's an update to this, we don't always have it in here. And this also isn't available to anyone in the public.
Okay.
Where the local law would be.
Mhm.
Thank you.
So the distance I got was about 485 feet, so.
500 feet.
yeah,
All right, let's
give a
go over
buffer.
to 500, should be 5, that's 500.
500 each way?
Huh?
Or just on the one side?
Only on one side,
only
'cause
the
that's
one
where
side.
you
You
need
can't
it,
park on
them
that.
coming out the driveway, that's what it's really, to slow the cars down.
Mhm.
Around that
South.
curve.
South,
On the,
or I guess it would be.
East.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's on east, because they were complaining like hunters would park there and go into the woods. And
right.
it makes it tough for them to see the cars coming
Mhm.
around, so that's why there's no parking sign.
All right, so I changed number 9 to at 1140 Call Street, 500 feet east from the driveway.
used to be towards Spence Fall.
Right,
Yes,
yeah.
going down the hill.
So that's correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
correct.
Is that east or south?
East.
Yeah,
East?
East.
Okay.
yeah.
So setting that public hearing for July 1st.
July 1st, yeah.
And like you said, the fines are part of it.
Section 4.
So where are we at? Need a motion to set the public hearing? I'll make it.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then there's discussion on a proposed resolution, for Georgiana Bull, to hold the yoga classes behind the Harmon Cottage. I want to give you a little information before you get into it. Her note says that she would be taking donations. Okay, so in our ordinance book on page 30, vending and solicitation of alms. A person shall not use park property or streets within park property for business or professional purposes involving the sale of any good or rendering of any service for a fee or for the purpose of soliciting alms or contributions without first securing necessary permits for same. So I had mentioned that to you all before, that I thought she needed a vendor's permit. She does. All right, that's just,
Did you?
that's what I have right here.
Yeah.
not yet. She
She's
hasn't.
waiting
She's
for us.
waiting to hear back from the board as to
Yeah.
if you guys are gonna let her
Mary,
do it or not.
that's
How much
what
would
she's
that
talking about.
permit cost her?
Well, it'll depend if she goes per day, it would be $25 per day. she's talking about 2 days a week. Or the $350
For the season.
would be unlimited through December 31st.
The year.
Doesn't really say here how long she's gonna do it. I would assume it's for the summer.
I'm guessing
I don't
so,
know.
but,
Yeah.
Well, it also says something about depending on how many people or something.
right,
8 a.m. Hour twice a week on Tuesdays, Thursdays, days, time may vary according to
Yeah,
participants.
that's what
Right.
it said,
so it'll be her
So
call
we're
as to
all right
whether
with
she wants to do it per day, or
This
she
is-
wants to just come in and get a $350.
Yeah,
Insurance requirements.
I don't know.
For food vendors, it's $1 million.
I don't know of any insurance requirements, but you would. Probably wanna have an agreement with her.
Well, I wrote on here, just so you know, she has to add the town to her insurance. That's
But for
kind
how
of,
much? That's,
you know.
she
whatever.
says in her thing that she's self-insured now.
Well,
I don't know what that means.
she's got
I
her
know what
own-
it
she's
means.
got her own insurance. She don't need our property insurance,
Well, thank
But-
God.
but she has to make us a second,
Additionally
Additionally
insured.
insured.
Now, Contract for that, it's almost
But we, okay, so
useless.
Right,
Would
whatever
you-
you say.
Would you call the vendor permit a contract?
because they fill out an application and they provide, like the food vendors for our park. They come in with their Department of Health certificate, their insurance naming the town as additional insured. They fill out an application for what they want to do, sign it, and then we issue the vendor permit.
What does the permit say on it in terms of like insurance?
It just said, that it's required that the town be additional insured for $1 million. It's the only thing it really says on.
That's,
I also am nervous about having a contract with her because now we're getting into who are you gonna contract with and not to have events on your space.
so are you concerned about semantics, or are you concerned about what that permit says? Here's my thoughts. I think we should ask for a permit.
But we have to.
Should be some,
Yeah.
and I think we should cover ourselves insurance wise. Now, the best route to do that, I don't know.
I mean, so if you're an additional insured. Practically what's gonna happen if someone gets hurt and they sue her and the town, cause it was on town property. The town realistically is gonna have to sue her insurance carrier to take over the defense of the town.
Yeah,
It's just a mess.
yeah,
Usually when we do contracts with people, we put a clause in there that says. You will take over the defense immediately and we don't have to sue you to do that. But I also don't want it to look like she's a town sponsored activity. I guess we could do like a. Independent
You want me to go see if I can grab one of our applications real quick?
Well, don't we do that with all even our vendors? they have insurance, but we're on the,
That's how our vendors.
When
Yeah.
does she want to start? Do we have time to?
Well,
Push
she-
this off till July 1st?
doesn't say.
She originally asked about this 3 months ago. That's the other thing too. And she called the other day to see where we were at.
Yeah,
So I
this,
guess
this
it's-
email is dated June 4th.
Well, that's when I told her to send it again.
I don't know, I'm struggling with this because do I feel like someone's really gonna get hurt doing yoga? No. But what if they do?
It's also leaving us liable and open for,
It's also setting kind of a precedent
yes,
too. I mean,
because right now,
The next activity
Anyone
could be
wants- they
kickboxing.
can
Somebody could get hurt doing that.
go to the pavilion and do what they want to do there. And now we're talking about the Hardman.
I see where you're
Cottage.
at.
It's either way, it's.
You're not-
Well,
my job to just-
Lately,
Think
regulations have been
of
so
all
out of whack. We've been doing things for years. We're insured for the property.
And if you are comfortable with that, then great, it's just I have to
I'm,
tell you
it's
what
up to
I'm.
these guys.
nervous
I'm not
about.
saying, you know.
Now, my limited experience, even if we had a contract. And even if they had insurance and so on and so forth,
We still
you
get-
still pretty much have the same problem. Somebody got hurt.
I mean, we put an extra provision in ours usually that they agree to, so it does make it easier. It's in a normal litigation, you'd have to do a complaint, you'd have to have an answer, you'd have to go through discovery. But with it in a contract, you could do a summary judgment motion in lieu of a complaint, which takes it right to a decision.
Can I have a question?
Could that be a little clause that's just added to our permit application?
That's what I was just gonna ask. Can that just go on there and not have the?
Yes.
Vendors as well.
Yeah, and it'll be free. Yeah, because it'll be the same application for everyone.
That's what I would like to
Yeah,
do.
it's not a contract really, but it's kind of a compromise.
I mean, we're pretty much the ones that typed up the application form in our office, so we had something to go by. So if we want to change it, you want me to send you one tomorrow?
Yeah, or, yes, because then
Okay.
I'll put the language in.
Can we kind of come up with some basic language so we can move forward to this tonight?
Yeah, so it's just a clause that basically says if you are,
This is gonna be part of my motion, Lori.
Yeah.
um. If you're
You
sued,
agree?
basically that the. Person signing the contract will take on the defense,
Person signing the application.
Applicant will take on.
the expense of defense of any litigation. And then just put something like more comparable language, because I know there's more to it. I just have to go get the
Okay.
laws.
And I'll say Mary, okay.
So I make a motion that we approve the opportunity to Georgiana Bull to submit an application to us to use the Rockwell Harmon Cottage property for yoga classes with the understanding that we are adding the said phrase on the application.
Okay,
A second.
are you giving her permission to do it or just permission to apply for it?
Permission to apply for it.
But then you've got to turn around and. If it says just apply for it, do we have to do another resolution
Do
allowing?
they approve all the vendors?
No,
Not
no.
normally. Okay. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just want to make sure. Okay, discussion and proposed resolution, which you're not gonna do tonight, to advertise for assistant beach director. And I put with a deadline of applications to be Friday. Cause the beach is open on the 30th. You all have our copies of the applicant that Tracy, who manages our beaches, is
Mhm.
recommending, but we have a resolution on the books that says it has to be advertised. So,
And
So we can't
that's
hire
always
them.
been my problem, because you got somebody like Tracy recommending somebody who she wants as her assistant. I always feel you should give it to the one that
Right.
she wants. not
Absolutely.
You advertise it, 10 people come in, her person might not get it. And maybe her person worked with her last year or knows the job. So I always get a little hairy with these kind of extra things.
Why don't we do both?
Now, is that assistant going to be an employee of Lake Luzerne or is
Yes.
Yeah,
part
they
of
get
that?
paid, yeah.
Why don't we
And
do
it's
both?
part-time
Why don't we do both? We'll hire her and we'll run the ad.
well, I
provisional?
think you have to put the ad first, don't you?
Can you do
I
a
don't know.
provisional?
That's why I'm saying, even if you run it for 3 days, we've met our requirement, right?
You can also rescind the resolution.
That's what I was gonna ask next.
Okay, so you want a resolution for what? That's which way you want to do it?
I don't have an opinion which way you do it. You can rescind the resolution that makes you post it. Or you can resolve to run it till Friday and then hire this person.
Or can we do an exception for this one alone?
No,
No, okay, I didn't think so.
I'll make a motion to rescind the resolution to.
And apply all to any postings.
A second,
Okay. Let me get,
So she can hire who she wants.
Right.
okay, so rescind, I'll have to look up the resolution number and the year, but it was like within the last 5 years it was done. Rescind,
So that'll be rescinded from now on.
yeah, rescind
Yes.
resolution requiring job opening posting. Okay, who made that? I'm sorry. Councilman Niles and
no. Warden and McMahon.
Dane,
Gave me the motion.
Morton.
Morton, okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then, so you want to go ahead and hire Kimberlyn Horn?
Yes.
now do they have to hire her or the up to the managing?
It's up to us.
Oh,
But this is who she'd like.
yeah.
Make that motion.
A second,
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm in no way, shape or form ready to do that's next.
I just asked Laura to put it on there so we don't forget.
We'll be ready in 2 weeks.
Okay,
Okay, so July 1st.
would you be willing to send me an email saying that so I can forward it?
Oh, sure.
One favor I need from you,
Oh, boy.
terrible. And don't, you're not gonna understand what I'm talking about. Emails come in with a little blue square over here and a little red square over here. The red square, whatever you send on that, I get and I can read everything. What comes in on that blue square, all I know is you sent a letter, but I don't get a copy of it.
An attachment.
According to Colleen, I think today she said, I have to get IT in here to set my computer up to get whatever that blue square is. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe you're talking about a Word document in PDF.
That's it, whatever it is.
Oh, what can't you get? A PDF or you can get a PDF?
Can you get the red or the blue?
I got the red, but I can't
Okay, so you can get PDFs.
So he's not getting words.
All right, because if I print that out, all I get is your letter, but I can't copy your letter, what you send me.
I can, yeah.
I feel like a translator.
Okay, that's Greek and drives me nuts. I got one today with 4 of those. I go to Colleen, print all 4 of these out for me so I can read them.
Really? You can.
This Northwoods.
It's something in my computer has to be set up by IT or something.
I'll send you PDFs.
Okay, well, the red.
And then
ones, that's what-
Tucker will come in and just
Alright.
take a quick look and make sure maybe
You said
it's
July.
something the way you're doing it.
He's not gonna be back until Monday, but.
It's fine. I can send
Copies of
you.
it for
All right, we're okay with that. That's,
We're done with the Northwoods.
Yeah.
Discussion.
Discussion on the dog control officer. John Arnold gave a written notice that he's resigning.
Mhm.
The town clerk's office provided this information to the board on June 13th. A help wanted ad has been sent to the website director for posting. And Supervisor Merlino has information.
well, that same dog warden we had, Warrensburg had, and Bolton Landing had. Not sure about Lake George, but those 3. They went with another woman that hasn't applied up there. What I wanted, we can put it out for bid, information on it, but just I'd like to get her over here to speak to us also. If she'd pick up Lake Luzerne, if we don't get anything else, waste any time. I mean, the letter I see from him, he'll do it until we replace him. So I'm not really, I don't wanna wait 2 months, but
Right,
so Warrensburg and Bolton both used the one we use, and what he left them also, so they already got somebody, and she's willing to take us, but I wanted to make sure. Maybe I'll bring her in at the meeting next 2 weeks from now, let her talk to us, but we should still put it on the paper. Huh? And now you're gonna ask me that question, I don't have that one.
Does anybody know how much we paid the last guy?
It's
Yeah.
like 93.90, I think.
9,000 something, yeah.
So
Under
it's
9,500.
over the 5 grand.
Huh?
It's over the 5 grand.
The salary.
Oh, it's not a contract?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. With it.
Sure, get her in here.
All right.
Okay, so.
I'll get the name from Kevin tomorrow and I'll call her and see if she'd like to come to our July meeting. If she's willing to
Well,
take,
she has to put in an application.
right,
Before that, if she wants
Yeah,
to,
okay.
and then, you guys can talk to her at the July 1st meeting. So if she can get her application in soon.
Okay.
Prior to that meeting.
next,
I just don't want anything right, we did discuss the beach director and all that stuff. Okay,
George Nevin.
Discussing the George Evans Memorial Bench.
okay, I got a letter from the Evans sisters. Normally, for years, every time somebody wants a bench. We have it made, we have the form, pour cement, and then add the wood to it, put it someplace around town. Most of the times, people ask us to get a plaque. Like a memorial of such and
Mhm.
such. I think months ago or something, we were talking about having the people pay for the bench and the plaque. Well, I don't know how, I don't think we did any resolution on it. The bench is about to make, for us to make about $125. We have the form, we pour the cement and then put the wood on it, get it all together. Well, if you want to leave it at that, the town does it, or start charging, that's my question. Because all those benches
Oh.
in the park you see now have all been done by the town
Right,
over the years. Want to leave that particular thing, leave it alone, let us do it?
I think so,
I agree.
yeah,
Just
That's
be
all I
careful.
wanted to know.
One thing I would ask, we're gonna be selling six or eight
that's
benches
good.
for a playground fundraiser.
We're not selling, we're getting donations for
Right.
6 additional.
So I have no
Okay.
problem with the thing you're doing, just don't put them where the playground's gonna be.
But that's different. This is a
Yeah.
memorial bench.
She's a.
I
Don't we keep them up front near the
Yeah.
end of the pavilion and
Right.
around,
Yeah.
we don't put
Mhm.
it down below, you'll have plenty of room there.
Yeah,
Are we doing one for Mr. Nevins?
I'd like to, I just want.
Can we just verify the
No, I
spelling
didn't-
of his last name?
Before, I want to make sure you guys are all right with it.
It
You did?
doesn't look right, but that's what it is.
Okay.
EVEN.
All right, everybody all right with that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can email them back and say, you know, we're not gonna do it immediately, but as soon as the guys get some chance.
Yeah.
so that's what Max Uranda was telling us the other night.
Yes,
Good. Just keep me out of trouble.
I'm on it.
Try to keep me out of trouble, always in trouble. All right, what's next? What are we doing here? I got a call for the dog warden's name, okay. George Evans is okay. Oh, the only other thing, I keep putting it in your packet. This guy keeps calling me, and if we don't want to do the solar, or we don't want to have him back in here to go over it with us, remember he came about 3 months
Yep.
ago? And I brought up at least the last 2 months. Do you want him back to talk to us about the solar again, so we get a more handle on it, or just leave it go? I think it was about we'd make 5%, if I remember right. And he came and talked to us, but we really
Yeah.
never, I brought it up last month
Mhm.
also, but
I remember it making sense to do it.
yeah, we
In the
only
moment.
5%, but
Basically, it was
You-
just.
would you like me to have him come back in
Be on a
and give us a
list.
refresher so you can ask better questions?
I'm good with signing up for it because I left with the impression that we should do
It
it.
had nothing to do with building solar panels and nothing at all.
Nothing.
No,
Yeah.
He's gonna put the solar panels, we're just gonna get 5% from
Yeah, they could be in Utica.
No, it's just a program that,
it. That's a program, that's right, the program, he
Yeah.
buys it.
yeah, it's just a program that we sign up for and we get a credit for.
And the homeowners can do the same thing, basically.
But we've been saying that we're going to put that
On the website.
on the
I
website.
think it is on the website.
Haven't seen it.
No? Okay.
Can you just check that?
So we're gonna put this information on the website?
Yes. To sign
But do
up.
we,
It would be, do we want to do it as the town is what you're
and
asking?
then somebody else can, they
And I
can
think
sign up.
Dan is saying yes.
separately.
We'll say yes.
I agree.
Jim is saying yes.
Okay,
So can we get a contract from him? So, Mary can review it and whatever.
yeah, I'll have a contract by 2 weeks. All right, I'll call him, because he keeps calling me, and I
Yeah.
said, you know.
Yeah.
talked
We'll
about
have
it,
an
we
answer.
really haven't.
That's the website would be for us, the
Keep track
individuals.
and we forget some of these things.
Yeah,
All right, so I'll
Do
call
you
him.
guys want to authorize a contract with them, subject to attorney review?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, I'll make that resolution.
And I'll second.
yeah,
All in favor?
Aye.
I think you guys are, talked about the letter. Senior Center letter.
yeah, we have it signed. That was,
I think I gave it back to you.
yeah, I have
We
it
don't
signed.
have Tim's signature.
Tim's not here and you have yet to sign.
One you made up.
So my question is this, are we still sending it or keeping it in the file?
We should send it, in my opinion. I know we should have done it a month ago, but two wrongs don't make a right.
And Dane called him and spoke to him personally about it. About a couple weeks.
Yes.
The next day,
So
and
And
he
he
did
said
not
he didn't, and
come.
he didn't show up.
He did not come
did
to
not
that
come.
meeting.
He hasn't been back.
Do you want to
But the
send it
letter
or you
needs to
want
go
to
out.
just see what happens? Don't rock the
Send it.
boat
I'll get
personally.
Tim's
Maybe you
signature.
get him more upset. That's how I feel.
What are you saying? Don't send the letter?
Don't send the letter. We already talked to them personally. And now we have a letter resolution. We're gonna do it. I don't know, sending a letter might get them rolling again.
You know the
He
letter
hasn't
we're
been
talking
here.
about, Mary?
Yeah.
I,
Well, whatever you say, I don't care which one. You want to send them a letter?
you talked to him.
We have
Did you
it.
tell him we were gonna send him a letter?
I don't remember.
You can send a letter if you want. We all signed it tonight, so we'll send it.
I think we should. I think we should send it.
Yeah, I think we need to cover
I agree
ourselves.
with you to a point, but we've already personally talked to him at least 3 weeks ago. Send him a letter now, could stir him up because he hasn't been around. That's the only thought I wanted.
But I think the letter is going to make sure he doesn't come around. And if he does,
And I think it needs to be in the file. So,
Well, we all.
I heard you.
Well, that's all right. You want to send it, we'll send it. I'll have to do.
So I
do that
just need to
tomorrow.
get Tim's signature and then the letter.
I gotta hear something, so.
Um,
There it is here. Here's the letter right here. Well, I'll give this to you, Lori, if you want to get Tim's signature on it. Isn't it? They got a different one?
You got,
That's just a copy, Jane.
Huh?
That's just your copy, huh?
Oh, it was, that's the original. Okay, we'll sign it. I'm sorry. Same color.
Date it. Want to redate it? Okay. All right.
The same color, isn't it?
Not the same. Nor is it the same texture.
Oh, God. Let's stay moving forward here.
Resolutions for the July 1st meeting. I have bills, minutes, possible resolution to adopt that local law too, because you're gonna have that public hearing. And then whatever else you guys need.
I'll have one, approved to send out an RFP for the playground. Playground supply and install.
Where's that?
It doesn't exist yet.
I need it as soon as it does.
I just want to be on the agenda next time.
And speaking of that, did you get my email regarding the zoning law that I need the language for the posting in the paper?
I did, and then I got an email from Tracy saying something about just copy and paste something. So I wasn't really
The
sure.
copy and paste, I think, was progress report.
Yes. That was,
So
so
that
I just need the legal notice language.
you reviewed the RFP 3 months ago. And we held on to it. Because we didn't have a contract with the state or with whoever's giving us the money. We got that 3 or 4 weeks ago. So now it's time to send out the RFP.
And then I also need the list of the companies to send it directly to.
Right.
It's easier if I have all that and do that whole project all at once.
I just don't want the second part to hold up the first part.
It won't, I just need the information.
I don't have the information.
Who does have that?
I'll have to get it. Tracy gave me one name. I don't know
Okay.
who it was. But I know there's at least one more. Which,
Cause I mean, it's kind of hard for me to finish my job if I don't have the information, and I like to do it all at once, but if I can't, I will get the notice out at least in the paper. On the website.
I thought I would do the second part, to be honest with you.
No, we do it in our office, that's our part.
Well, okay, that's fine. I work a lot with Ethan Gaddy. I'm gonna send him an email and I'm gonna say, hey, Ethan, this is on the street now.
That's fine, but when we do the RFPs, the process goes through our office.
I know, I'm talking about the notification of people that it's on the street.
That's fine, I just need the. list.
My experience with a lot of these things is that doing the public notification, people don't see it.
I realize that, I know what you're saying, but we will do the letters and mail them out from this office to the specific ones you want them to go to. If you wanna let that other gentleman know that this is being done, that's fine with
You
me.
know, in case you hear from people.
But it's our responsibility in our
This is
office
a bridge
to
that goes
publish the
in the
RFP,
alley.
and to send the letters out to who you want them to go.
Facade, you see it here like that?
So I just need all that
It was
information.
up against.
I have a question for you.
Foundation of the bridge.
Ethan is
Stated here
the
that-
unofficial head of the planning department.
They told me the county.
I saw him at
They got
the,
pictures of it, and they're gonna fix
there
it.
was a meeting last week at the county.
Just in case
He
somebody,
says, I hear you're about ready to get that RFP in the street. They want to bid on it.
not the whole land.
Yeah.
It's, just, you know, from.
Yeah,
It's more rich here.
Okay.
In case, cause somebody called me about it, or something. Look at your bridge.
I don't think-
Look at it, I think it's late, like.
yeah.
So I brought the state in the day before, because I thought it was a state.
Okay, well, I'll continue that discussion.
Today. And they looked.
I'm just saying, if they wanna do it, I don't think you have to go out to bid.
Their bridge
For another municipality, I think you can just enter into a contract.
engineer, she looked at it and says, wow, that's gonna be a big job.
Mhm.
I don't know what the grant requirements are. Off the top of my head. All right, but they don't have to bid yet, done yet. They haven't even got the documents to bid upon.
Zoning, right?
He read our draft RFP. In fact, he had us add a couple sentences that they will supply at no charge all the GIS stuff for that project. So he knows the scope. To be honest with you, I was kind of surprised when he said that to me as well.
Is this a private conversation?
No, we were having it, then
Oh.
Jane came over. You guys.
Do you need some?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The playground.
The,
Yeah.
no, the zoning update.
Oh, the zoning update.
Zoning update.
So it's not the playground. Okay.
No.
Right, you know, we got that grant a lot. Finally got the contract a month or so ago.
Yeah.
Now we want to get the RFP out there to get a contractor to do the work.
Okay.
And when we were at that tourism meeting a week or two ago at the county. Even Gaddy came up to me and says, I hear you're ready to go on the street with that. We'd like to do that. We want to, his exact words are, we want to bid on that.
Okay, so.
So I
add
asked-
his list, give him the list, his name to Lori, right?
And I'm asking Mary if they can even do that.
Yes.
They can apply. Okay, so moving right along is the next RSP.
FP.
RFP, request for proposal. So
The one for the playground.
This
That's
is
not on that.
for the zoning update.
Okay,
That's.
just
the one.
checking. Just checking
yeah, I did ask to be on the agenda next time to do an RFP for the playground.
for the playground. Okay.
Confused?
Oh, I feel like everyone's getting real snippy.
I'm done.
I just wanted to know where we're at, that's all. Okay,
I told you they're bringing food.
Start bringing food, makes it better, huh?
chocolate's good.
Yeah. Maybe some ice cream. Goodness.
All right,
So I
next.
apologize if I came across snippy, but I know
It's
what
been
my
that
job
way for the last
is.
couple of months, so.
I know what my job is and I need the stuff to do it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I understand that.
And
And then she's got me always bothering, did we do this, did we do that, and, you know, some driving her crazy too.
So right now,
We're all set.
just so we have our tasks as we walk away from this meeting, right now, the zoning
mhm.
RFP is in your court, is in Mary's court. To
And
get to Lori.
yours. Or whoever's gonna give me the list of people you want it sent to,
Okay,
okay? So that's where we are. She's gonna give me the language for the posting notice. I need the list of people you want it specifically sent to. And that will come from all of you. Or Jim, whatever,
Okay,
if there's specific ones you want me to go to. And then it'll be free for all, for the rest of them, whoever sees the notice in the paper and on the website.
so all right with you guys if I ask Matt if he has anything to add to this?
good.
He's our unofficial official. Matt, can you hear us?
Let me unmute. Hold on.
Oh, I can hear you.
What?
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add, Matt?
I do not have anything to add other than, I agree that Lori needs the information to get the RFP out. And whether we send it to the county or whatever, it seems to me that's kind of an insignificant point. We just need to get a list out and get the notification in the paper so we can move forward with this thing. But we are in a position right now where we're almost a year into our 3-year period for the contract and we haven't done anything.
Thank you.
Thanks. I should add something to what Matt just said. We're a year into the schedule. We only got the contract about a month ago.
True.
They didn't change the schedule, even though it took them 10 months to get us a contract. But I believe it's a 3-year contract.
Is there any provision to extend it if need be because of that delay?
It's,
I think we all need to speak into our mics.
Say us between him and the state and you.
No, it's
Do we
between
have-
the town of Lake Luzerne and I forget
Right.
what agency, Department of State or.
Am I still on the mic?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is a 3-year contract between us and the New York State Department of State. And there is a provision to request an extension. That does not mean that an extension will be granted, but that provision exists It's on the bottom of every semi-annual report.
Okay, thanks, Matt.
Thank you. Okay, any other resolutions needed for July 1st? That anybody can think of?
No, did we get anywhere with that speed limit sign for the school with
No.
Kevin?
No, I talked to Kevin twice already and he hasn't really, he says he thinks it was done a year ago.
And he told
I
me
did not find anything.
And we didn't find any here.
he did not.
So my question is, do we have to do another resolution or can we use the resolution?
I would do another one because he can't find anything either.
But you had also mentioned something about because it was a school zone, we might not have to go through all that.
Well, that's what he had told me, but
No. I think
a year later, it's tough to remember everything people
Did you
say.
pass a resolution?
We submit a resolution, you know, that's what.
Trying to recall exactly how that went. I'll have to look back in the minutes, but I thought when we were talking about it, you, Mary, thought that we might not have to go through all that because it was a school zone, that it could almost automatically just be done under something with New York State not doing a study, an actual study. That's what I recall from that.
Okay, I still think you have to ask the state.
You gotta send it to the county DPW. They sent it to
But
the
I
state.
thought that we did.
We did all that, but doesn't seem like it got
I
that.
don't think that the actual form and paperwork got done because I think I was waiting, because I was confused on the whole thing.
But
And
there
then
was
just
a
kept,
resolution.
I believe there might have been. I'm gonna check on that.
We don't have to do another resolution.
Okay.
Just use what-
So look to see if there's an actual resolution.
Didn't we check how to look at the fiche a couple of weeks ago and she said there was something on there?
I'll have to check. To see if there's an actual resolution.
And I believe it's 2 years ago.
2 years? I told them 1 year.
It's 2 years ago, because I gave you the date of the meeting that we did it.
Do you remember what
I
that?
believe it was July. Oh, no, I thought it was July, but it was August of 23.
Okay, 23 or 24. I'll look at 23 first. Okay. Yeah, and if we did actually do the resolution, and everything, I'll get that right out.
Thank you.
Um,
You got anything?
Any other resolutions?
We're done down here.
We're not gonna go to executive session, that letter. We're finished with that.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if that's fair.
The letter, stop.
Okay. Resolutions, anybody else?
All right, all I got left on here is the review resolutions for July 1st.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Look at the smile, she has a smile with that.
She's looking for a donut.
Thank you for an ice cream. You want an ice cream?
Thank you.